I'm always so incredibly amused by intelligent women who say that all men are intimidated by them. No, we're not intimidated by intelligent women. Or, well, actually, some men are. Stupid men are. But, you know, the average guy, and especially the smart guy, he's not intimidated by a smart woman, by an intelligent woman. On the contrary, he welcomes her. But the problem is that, see, intelligent women today, the way they've been socialized, they are so goddamn tedious, so goddamn annoying, that you don't want to associate with them. I mean, who would? Yeah, because what's going on is that so many intelligent women constantly have this need to show off how intelligent they are. See? And it's very understandable. It's very much what happens to bright high school boys who are not socially popular. See, these high school boys, and you've known them, or you were one of them, I certainly was, you know, these high school boys who aren't good at sports, who aren't particularly good looking, and are socially awkward and whatnot. Well, we are very smart, and so we derive a lot of satisfaction from our brains, and so we constantly harp on the fact that we're so smart, and we deliberately go out of our way to make other people feel stupid so that we feel better about ourselves. And we smart kids know how that story plays out. We become even more isolated and alienated because people think that we're a fucking idiot, a fucking asshole. Yeah, of course, see? And it's only, you know, in college and after college that we sort of like figure out, oh, you know, I'm really, really smart, but rather than be an asshole about it, I can use it to my advantage. And then everything clicks and you're on your way, right? But what happens with women, smart women? See, the smart women, they behave the exact same way, but they're grown-ups, they're older. Because what's happened is that, see, when they were growing up, they were very bright, and they were put in the advanced placement classes and all that good shit. But it wasn't determinant insofar as their social status. But then when they got to college, they probably went to a good college, maybe an Ivy League school, and they got into a good professional school, you know, Harvard Law or something like that. And what happens after that, there's a lot of demand for them. And so they are experiencing the same attitude that befell the high school kid who was really smart but socially awkward. See, these women, they are deriving their sense of self-worth from their intelligence. And so when they meet other people, they try to show off their intelligence, constantly show off their intelligence, show off how bright they are. And they don't realize that they are alienating all the people around them. Exactly like oversmart, socially awkward, alienated high school boys. And just like these socially awkward high school boys, you know, the adults confronted with this arrogant woman, this arrogant, very intelligent, but arrogant woman who's constantly showing off how smart she is, and she is constantly testing the people around her if they're at her level of intelligence, right? Well, the adults around her find this tedious. And so she decides, rather than it's her fault, she decides that it's their fault, that they can't handle this smart woman, this intelligent woman, this accomplished woman, that they are the ones with the problem. They don't look in the mirror. They don't see themselves. Now, what happens with these tediously intelligent women is very obvious. See, either they find no one, or they find a beta male who will accept all their bullshit in exchange for pussy. Basically, that's what basically happens, see? And these smart women, well, they're smart enough to realize that they've got a beta male. Or they're smart enough to realize that they're doing something wrong that's making them completely isolated and alone, and they have no idea what, and so they just blame the patriarchy, society, man, you know, blah, 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 all this regular bullshit, right? They don't look at themselves. They're blind to themselves. And the thing is, see, if they are unlucky enough to latch on to some beta male who puts up with their bullshit, they despise the guy because they know fundamentally that he's beneath her. Yeah, because that's a basic problem with a lot of these intelligent women. You know, these very, very intelligent women, very accomplished women. See, all women want a man who's better than them, who's superior to them, all of them. See, it's built into them, hypergamy and all the rest of it, by evolution. And so when they are stuck with some beta male who's at their level, but in terms of personality, strength of personality is probably beneath them, and often is not, earns less than them and whatnot. See, she can't look up to him. And so if she looks, you know, across at him, she just sees a loser. and let alone if she looks down on him. Because a woman can only accept a man that she looks up to. It's their nature. And that's why so many of these very intelligent, very accomplished women are so deeply unhappy. And they will never find success in their personal lives because they don't understand what they're doing. To go back to those high school retards who were, 150 IQ points, but, just total dickheads that nobody could stand. See, these guys, they want to get laid. Yeah, because it's their nature, right? Women want something more complex. They want an emotional relationship, but guys want to get laid. And so the smart guys realize they're doing something wrong. They are doing something that is not getting them laid. Because getting laid is very specific. Either you're getting laid or not getting laid, right? But having a fulfilling personal relationship and having a fulfilling personal life is much more complicated. It's much less easily defined. I mean, pussy is pussy, but like a happy life, an emotionally fulfilling life, how do you, chase that particular dream? Okay? And so the intelligent woman doesn't know how to chase it because it's not like a specific thing. It's really a process. Whereas getting pussy is a specific thing. And so the smart high school guy who was really, really arrogant and constantly showing off how smart he was and all the rest of it, at some point after a few years of complete failure to get pussy, he starts to realize, I have to change myself. And he starts adjusting. And as he starts to adjust, he becomes more and more successful at getting pussy. That's certainly my case. Yeah, when I was in high school, I was horrible because I was that dickhead that had to constantly show off how smart he was. Yeah. I'm still kind of that dickhead. Yeah, that high schooler has never left me. But the truth is that, at some point, I remember very clearly, actually, and I've mentioned it before, one of my first days in university, I wound up talking to two of the hottest girls in my university, and I discovered that if I made them laugh, they liked me, okay? And I started fine-tuning, and eventually, when I'm like, 20, 21, 22, I'm getting all kinds of pussy all of a sudden. It suddenly clicked, see? And I stopped being that dickhead. I started to become popular because I understood the uses of intelligence and intellectual accomplishment. They have their uses, but not socially, not with mates. But these very intelligent women, they don't get this. They don't get this at all. I mean, some do. The really smart ones do. The really smart ones sort of like figure it out, and they wind up having very successful lives. I've noticed that the smartest women that I've ever met, they all had babies in their early 20s, mid-20s, because they figured it out. They figured it out real fast, that a job, a career was not going to give them any kind of real satisfaction. What was going to give them real satisfaction is having a family of their own, a family that they could love and give love to, and find happiness and joy in that family. I mean, that's what the really smart women understood. The not quite so brilliant women, the women who are just below that, they pursue the career. They go to Harvard Law School. They waste their lives pursuing some empty career and constantly pissed off about the fact that they alienate the men that they want. They alienate them because they're constantly showing off how smart they are and challenging them all the time. And no guy wants that because he finds it boring. He wants to relax with a woman. He has enough shit, competing with the guys at his job or his business. He doesn't want to come to some woman and be competing with her too. Fuck that. Of course, because, when we're interacting with members of the opposite sex, we want it to be fun. We want it to be like thrilling. We want to be flirting and having a good time and a nice laugh. We don't want to be competing intellectually. Nobody wants that. Not even really, really, really fucking smart guys. Okay? But these smart women don't get it. They're tedious. They wind up alone. And yeah, it's a real shame. Yeah. I mean, I truly, genuinely, I say this sincerely, I feel sorry for these women. Just the way I feel sorry for those high school boys, and sometimes they're in college and sometimes beyond college, and they're still acting the same way. And they're so smart. They got so many IQ points, so much potential, and so much energy. They could accomplish anything, create wonderful things. But instead, they're locked into this trap of thinking that to gain value for themselves, they have to show how smart they are. constantly showing how smart they are. And these boys, they alienate the people around them. Because most people aren't that smart, come on, you know? And so what happens is that they alienate them, they feel isolated and alone, lonely, miserable. And this is the fate of these tedious, intelligent women. So if you meet one of them, understand them. Understand that, in a way, it's not even their fault, man. Because nobody was kind enough or smart enough to tell them why they were fucking up.